Good morning, everyone. I'm Teresa Perrin, and this is my stock market watch list for Friday, October 28th, 2022. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own DD, and please just don't blindly jump into plays that you see on this list. It is a watch list. All right, guys, if you could smash that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it as it helps with the algorithms. And if you sign up to be a follower, you will get a notification when I do have my daily watch list put out, which is free. ET, Energy Transfer. Guys, this has been on my watch list this week because I'm looking for a break through $12.50 and to hold. Now, if you see the weekly chart, it is making higher highs and higher lows. So we are in an uptrend, and I do believe that this continues. I think ET has earnings next week, which is another reason why it's on my radar, because everybody knows these energy and gas companies and oil companies have just been freaking killing it with earnings. So I do expect this continuation of an uptrend. INTC, excellent earnings, guys. Not so great on the guidance. So I do expect to see a little bit of volatility with this stock today. They, unfortunately did have that weak guidance, but given the fact that they are one of the few companies that have done really well with earnings in general, they were up in the after hours, and I want to see if we can continue that pattern to the upside and perhaps get some shorts finally covering. This stock has been beat down very hard. HTCR. Okay, guys, HCTR is making the headlines today. It is actually going to the upside, which is a good thing. I do believe that this stock had a breakout yesterday, and I'm not quite sure what caused that. But I do know that they were up 14.5% in pre-market today, and then on Thursday they jumped 57%. Oh yeah, I remember. They entered into a license agreement with Transcosmos Digital Technology for its Apamore processing mining tool. So that's what caused the initial move to the upside. So now we're watching to see if this continues. ILAG, guys. All right. You know, if you've been following this channel, that I've had my eye on this. It is up 23.75% in the past week. It did struggle to break through that 3 to hold it. It got through 3 yesterday, but it came down and retested. So I'm looking to see it break out through 3 today and see if we can get any kind of a substantial move to the upside. TAL. I noticed this on the scanners and pre-market, and this stock looks very, very juicy. I actually checked it out on the dip earlier in the week because this is a stock that tends to have these runs. Between 4 and 6, it did dip down a little more with a Chinese sell-off, but I do think that we could potentially see, if this breaks out today, a move higher and a continuation on for a nice little rally. Core. All right, guys, I called this out yesterday on my watch list. I may have had it another day this week because I've been watching it as it bottomed around this 50 cents. As you can see, we are up 3.64% in the past week. It did dip down earlier in the week, like I said, and I was watching it as it consolidated along this bottom. We got the breakout yesterday, and I'm looking to see if we get a continuation of that move today. VRAX. Guys, I noticed that this is also moving up. It's up 8 cents in the past week, which is only 5.13%. But I think we're at a critical point right now, and I want to see if this can break out and move higher. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it today. RDHL. This is another one that has been moving this week. It did pull back yesterday. Well, it actually consolidated yesterday and then had a slight pullback in the after hours. And as you can see in the pre-market, it's back to where it closed at yesterday, up one cent. But I am watching specifically to see if it can get through that 75 cents. If it does, I do believe that it hits $1 very soon. Not necessarily today. I don't know how the market's going to move. But Starbucks, guys, HKD, all of those Chinese names, they have this little pattern that they seem to follow. And we're right in that line now where I'm looking for a breakout. I noticed HKD was up $1 in pre-market today, and Starbucks is up 14 cents or 8 1.64%. So, Miguel's another one of these. There's several, but those are those Asian ones that IPO'd and had these insane runs. So I think GTC is another one. Keep them on your radar because I think we're going to see some movement today or early next week. XOM, Exxon, I believe they had earnings today in pre-market and they were really good. So oil companies, despite the fact that oil is slightly down today, we may see a rally with these oil companies. So keep an eye on XOM, Chevron, Oxy, PBR, Halliburton, all of these companies that are in that field or supply to these fields could be good. Here's PBR again. I'm taking a look at that. It started to try to rally at the end of market close yesterday, and then in after hours when everything pulled back, it did too. So it is down 1.74 $1.74 or 11% this week. Guys, I don't think this was called for. There is some issues going on in Brazil, but the Brazilian market was only down 2% and yet it fell 10. So a little strange. Max Pain today is at $15, which means I do believe market makers tried to get this to 15. However, with oil being down, are they able to succeed? I don't know, but it is definitely high on my watch list. LIDR, guys, I've noticed this week that it started moving. It hit its bottom and it's been moving up. It's up 6% in pre-market, and I want to see if that trend continues. Mullen. Guys, I do not know why this is down in pre-market. I didn't hear that there was anything bad, but I do believe it's just trending with the rest of the market. The futures are bloody red today, and also it's F me Friday because they do have weekly options, so that's another thought process. I know that there was earlier in the week a huge print, as you know I mentioned, for the $1 calls, but guys, perhaps they sold out of those quickly after gaining just a few cents with such a large number that can be thousands of dollars. I don't know. So, could it have a big move today? Yeah, it absolutely could. It's Friday, it's payday, but also keep in mind that we know what happens on Fridays with option plays. Hellbiz. All right, guys, I noticed again, this did get the breakout the day that I said I expected it because the chart was primed and juicy, but they pulled it immediately back down. I don't know whether the market makers are not done building their position in this play or what. It's kind of interesting to me. I do believe, though, that Hellbiz continues to make moves to the upside, so I am watching that closely today. DAIO, Data.io, had good earnings, so I'm watching for a potential continuation on that. Diana Shipping, this was a popular name. Back in the pandemic, I think, was actually when a lot of people were into this. But it was up to 446 at one point in pre-market today, which was a 7% gain. On Thursday, they announced the time charter contract for DSI Polex with Delta. So does it continue that move to the upside from that announcement yesterday? We shall see, but this was very popular with retail, so it is potential that it could be a mover. Epics. All right, guys, today they also have that conference that I was telling you about where they're presenting the data that sent this flying on Wednesday. It did get a pullback yesterday, but it's had little runs, guys. This has been a stock that you could easily day trade and make a profit with. I want to see if that continues today. With that data presentation, does it draw in more investors? This is EPIX is very heavily bought in by institutions that are all long. There's no shorts in this play. So I do think that it has potential for them to really move it. Pins had great earnings, guys. It's up 11.65% in pre-market, which is great when the entire market's bleeding red. So I am watching to see if this can hold that gain and make a continuation. If not, is it a potential short for the day? I don't know. Meta. All right. Guys, Meta is down 25% in a single day yesterday. Now, it absolutely got cremated. I would consider this a falling knife. However, I did see some odd, what looked like phantom prints going on in the after hours to the upside. So I'm wondering if hedge funds or market makers and hedge funds, whatever, are now going to try to send this in the upward direction to make money on the way down and make money on the way up in options. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It could continue a falling knife. But that's the joy of this. This play, you're able to play those little runs and you're able to play it short. So you can buy calls, puts, however you want to play it. Guys, and if you actually like this company, could this be a time to buy? I don't know. I'm interested to see if shorts start to cover here because, oh my God, they made a killing on this stock. So, interesting to see how today plays out in either direction. Amazon. Guys, they got killed on their horrible earnings. They were down 20% at one point yesterday. As you can see, they've rebounded some. Again, I think this is another situation where shorts are saying, is this an opportunity to cover and get a great deal before other people do and the price rockets back up? I don't know. Again, earnings were not great. And I did listen to the earnings call on this. And you guys, it's hard to predict the future. They don't know what's going to happen this holiday season. They're prepared for anything. So could this continue to fall? Yeah, it could. I'm watching it. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting play as well. And a good potential for either a long or a short position. Apple. Out of all the crew, Apple was the best earnings of the gang, guys. So let's see if they went up, they went down, and they're pretty much flat, up slightly in pre-market. I keep an eye on Apple and see what is brought to the table. I mean, out of all of them, if you had to pick one, this is probably the most likely to see a move to the upside, I would say. But again, there's a lot of people shorting Apple, so I don't know. DBGI. Guys, please watch my video if you are in this play. This could have a potential run. I don't know that you would want to be stuck holding the stock, as I do think dilution will be on the table. They are going to be doing a reverse stock split November 3rd into the 4th. So November 3rd end of day, when you wake up in the morning, it'll be for every 100 shares you own, you would have one. So please watch my video if you're considering this play. I did make one last night per request that I check the stock out from multiple people. And I'm not holding a position in this. However, I am watching to see if it can get a run because its float is going to go from 50 million down to 500,000 approximately after this reverse split. So it is one of those stocks that's going to go to a super micro float. But again, they're going to have to dilute in order to get that market cap back up, I believe. Although there is something I mentioned in my video where maybe they don't. So check that out. AVCT, guys, this is going to be on my watch list until I finally see the move that I want to see in this play, or it gets its buyout, one of the two. But anyways, they did print a doji last night on the daily candle. I did make a video on that and discussing the 13G filing that they had for institutional investors. I do think that AVCT should make a move to the upside today. However, guys, the market is red, so could we get another flat day? I don't know. I can't predict the future. I can tell you that a doji indicates a reversal. But again, market conditions can change that. And the market's red. We are pretty much, we're having a horrible week. We're down 11 cents or 7.75%. But guys, I do believe that hopefully today we see that move to the upside based on that doji and the 13G. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to smash that like button and have